Today we are looking at using complementary colors as a color scheme. And complementary colors is a quick review. If we look at the color wheel, it's the colors just the opposite of each other. So the complement of yellow is violet, complement of blue-green is red-orange, red-violet, yellow-green, and so on. And when we think of those, don't just think red, yellow, blue and their complements. You think of the tertiary colors, the red violets, red orange, yellow green, so on, blue violet, blue green. That's when colors get a little more interesting when you use those. So if I'm thinking of a complementary color scheme in the painting of red violet and yellow green, that would be alizarin crimson, and yellow green would be cad yellow light and viridian, or cad yellow light and ultramarine blue to make the yellow green. Now I'm going to use the rest of the colors on the palette also, but these colors will dominate. So everything in the sunlight is going to have a little bit of yellow green in it probably. Everything in the shadow will have a little bit of red violet. That's the idea of it. Kind of the opposite of that, kind of instead of a complementary color scheme, would be an analogous color scheme. And that's where you have 3 to 5 colors. We were always told just to use 3, and they all have one dominant color in it. So if we look at violet, and blue, that's a bluish color scheme because everything has blue in it. And you would use a little bit of the yellow, orange, or orange to just gray things, not to create a complementary color scheme, just to use to mute these colors a little bit if you want to. But on a complementary color scheme, you're using a lot of the yellow, a lot of the violet, putting them next to each other so they really vibrate. Now I could use other colors in there to gray, to mute them, or use the complements to mute each other, but the scheme will have a lot of violet and yellow, or a lot of red and green. But an analogous color scheme would be the opposite. It's more of a peaceful painting. And I have one. Here's an analogous color scheme. It's more blue, some blue violets, blue green in here, and a little bit of orange or yellow orange, not to create that complement, that strong jarring complement, just a little bit to mute the colors. And there's blues and violets in this kind of yellow-orange feel too to hold it together, to make it a little more on the cool bluish side. And that makes for a more peaceful painting. But sunset, as you're looking into the sunset, there's going to be a lot of yellows, yellow, orange, and red orange. That would be that complementary color scheme. And I would use that in the ground also, so that everything is more 1 to 2 or 3 colors and everything kind of harmonizes. But a complementary color scheme is more the opposite. This is an orange and blue complementary color scheme. Actually, he's got blue-green here instead of blue, so a blue-green would be red-orange. So let's go back to that. He's got kind of a reddish-orange here and a bluish-green sky. And this is Frank Brangwyn. Here you can see the focal point is definitely that blue-green, yellow-orange, or red-orange color scheme. And that's not a peaceful scene. When you think of that, it's more jarring. Now he's got the green over here, but it does have some red-orange in it, and the green down here is red-orange. And the green is mixed, probably with the orange or red-orange and the bluish-green. And that gives it that warm green and that kind of darker green there. But you also use other colors as well, but the blue and the orange have to dominate, and they create that jarring feeling. I've got several by him. We'll just flip through them. Most of them are orange and blue. This one, I think the image is a little bit, there we go. Here again, it's blue and orange, or yellow-orange, and a little bit of blue-violet maybe, so close to complementary. But again, it's real strong. It's not something that's real peaceful because of the jarring complementary colors next to each other. A little more excitement, in other words. And of course, he's got greens down here, but they're probably mixed from this blue or blue-violet and this yellow-orange to come up with those greens. But again, you can use your whole palette. Just have a little bit of the complementary colors everywhere and keep them kind of strong to make things pop a little bit more, make more of a exciting, stronger. This is, again, another Frank Brangwyn. Used a lot of kind of yellow-orange, blue, blue-violet, complementary color schemes. Here's straight blue. And this isn't straight orange, but, close, very strong. It's a little stronger orange in the rooftops. And it just creates that dynamic, stronger feeling of contrasting color. Of course, he's got the contrasting value also. Really like his figures, how he just barely suggests the figures, uses a lot of negative lights here to cut in the figure and shape it up, which always makes it look a little more painterly. But he also has areas, again, of the two complementary colors that are pretty strong. In this case, the real strong blue and the strong orange here, or yellow-orange. And that really vibrates. It's not a peaceful feeling like the night scene is here, because everything is harmonious. Everything is blue. Subtle color changes of blue. Now this one is also Frank Brangwyn. This is very harmonious. This is not a complementary color scheme. Being Irish, he probably using Winsor Newton colors, indigo blue, which is a black and blue mixed together in a tube. Burnt sienna or English red, which is a kind of an Indian red, and yellow ochre. That's probably his. And that creates a harmony, because he's just using three colors and he's using a little bit of all three in everything. So nothing jumps out. There's none of that strong contrast of complementary colors or contrast of cool and warm. Everything is kind of muted, and it gives, again, a very peaceful, sedated feel to this painting. Same thing here. This is another Frank Brangwyn. And probably the same kind of color scheme. Although there is sunlight here, he does not use that complementary color scheme. He keeps things more sedated, probably indigo black, Indian red or English red, and yellow ochre in everything. A little bit of real strong blue up here. He doesn't want the colors to jump out and jar and give you that feeling of this. I mean, that's really jarring, really more exciting. Not that this is better than the other, but it's just a different way to show emotion, and that's what we want to do. Now, looking at some images here, got a boat here from Greece. Everything is blue here. I've got blue violets, blue greens, blues in the water. I've got a real light blue-green side of the boat, a darker muted blue violet down here, real grayed blue here, blue-green in the trees in the background. Everything is blue. It's very harmonious. Plus, it's very jumbled up. Too much stuff back in here to really want to show any of that. So I'm going to pull some of that together. So I made some changes here to try and get it on a little more of a blue and orange. This is a blue and orange complementary color scheme. So more blue-green here. Obviously, there's some yellow, ochre, or orange in it, but it is more of a blue-green. I have a little bit more black. Probably could have pushed the blues a bit more in here, but it's still a lot of blue in these areas in here. You know, there's also yellows and oranges, and grayed it down a little bit in the background to make it recede more. And then on the boat, I made the water more blue, blue-green. Then the boat is actually an orange boat now. A darker, cooler orange for the shadow on the side of the boat, lighter in the sunlight. And this is just a real pale orange, white with a little bit of orange. This would be more the blue with just a touch of orange to mute the blue there. And just same color here, but just a halftone, muted with a little bit of blue. So what you have here, having some real strong orange on the boat, and then real strong blue in the water. Now the sky, I made an orange muted with blue, because in the reference, it's a pretty light, warm sky. So I wanted more of an orange to make it warm, muted slightly with the blue, and getting rid of the background and just creating shapes with those trees. The boat's a little bit too centered. Probably shove it back just a little bit this way to about there, just to get it out of center. And I can redirect any of these ropes if I need to. I could have one coming this way, whatever I need to do to pull the eye into the painting. But thinking more of a color scheme that just jars a little bit. It gets not so, everything being in that case kind of a bluish color. Same thing here. This would be, of course, this one's kind of set up, kind of a violet and a yellow. And this is already kind of jarring, grabs your attention a lot stronger than if we had, you know, blue-green shadows of the mountains and green, yellow-green trees would be more analogous, and green grass. Here we're using the complements and really push it. The lighter yellows here, pretty strong. Some of the violets in here, pretty strong also. Now I'd also have some muted violets and muted yellows, because you don't want everything being real strong. But this one's pretty set up. I'd probably also make the sky slightly more blue-violet. You can have a little bit of blue-green down here, or orange, because it's, you know, sky gets warmer and lighter as it goes back. But this one's set up pretty good already as a complementary color scheme. And then this one too, green and red, or a red, orange, and blue green would work well. The other thing it does is it gets you out of just trying to copy the photograph. If I have blue, green, and red, orange, I know I'm going to have a lot of blue, green in here. I don't have to match this. I want to use the values. And this can be warmer than this, but still kind of a warm blue-green instead of a yellow-green. And a lot of red-orange, pretty strong here. Kind of a muted red-orange because there'd be so much white in it, with a little bit of a complement just to mute it slightly. Some blue-green in the shadow, even though I block this in blue-violet, I'd add some blue-green in it just to carry that color scheme through. So using colors to create more emotion in the painting, and the idea that you just don't have to copy the photograph. You can set up the colors as you want them. And again, you can use the full palette. Just have that green and orange in this case, or blue, green, and red, orange, whatever one you would pick. And you could do violet and yellow here also. You could do whatever complement you want, totally change the colors. What I would suggest is take the photograph and let's just desaturate. If you could do this, use a black and white, and then come up with your own color scheme of complementary colors. You might have to play around with it for a while. It's hard to do it first if you're not used to it. And I would do them small, 6x8, 5x7, maybe do 2 or 3, and just try different color schemes or different complementary color schemes with the same picture. And again, you can use the whole palette, but just have a lot of the complementary colors in some of the big shapes. And I tend to put them in a little bit of everything, but have areas like Frank Brangwyn did in here where he had just a lot of the blue and orange really jumping out at you. A little easy here because obviously the buildings are orange and the sky's blue, but you don't know how much he changed there either. You can get it that way. Next one here, this is a scene in Greece. And again, everything's kind of a grayish blue. I don't like the colors here, and I don't like the junk back in here. All this junk. So I want to get rid of it, simplify it. My main focus is the boat here in shadow and the tree here that's in shadow and casting a shadow. So first thing I would do is get rid of all the junk. And I'm thinking of a red, orange, and blue-green here. The blue-green tree and the red-orange boat and the red-orange house back in the background. Got rid of all the junk on that house, even the idea of it being cinder blocks. And just made it an old boathouse. And it's fairly easy to get rid of that stuff back in there when all you're doing is continuing this on down, or just the shadow here on over, and just not painting in all the junk. There's just no real reason to do any of that. And simplify the lights on the trees. Now it's yellow green here, blue green here, and violets here, but the strong red boat or red orange building, blue green tree. I could probably get a little bit of blue green in the shadow down here to carry that a little bit more. This is a blue green awning. It may look more blue, but it's a blue that is really warmed, like a cerulean, which is a blue green, or a phthalo blue, which is blue green. And of course, Viridian is also blue-green. It's more blue-green. It has more green in it than this does. The Viridian is just more on the greenish side of blue-green, and Cerulean is more on the blue side of blue-green. Everything on our palette fits into a color on the color wheel. Here I thought adding a figure to the boat. And when I add a figure like this, the figure is upright. It's like a tree trunk. It's going to be dark. So I always block it in dark just to get the shape, the action of the figure, just like a cutout. You cut it out of a dark value and paste it on there. Then I can come back and add color variation and value variation between, in this case, shirt, pants, skin tone, and then a dark and light of each one of those. And it just adds a little bit something to him. I probably would move him over to here just a little bit, just to get him away from the tree trunk. But that gives a little more human interest to it. Utah scene here, and think composition. Decide where the focus is. Here, my focus is right in here with the shadows on the cliffs, shadows on the trees. A lot of this outside is just too much empty space. And it makes the important thing here, those shadows on the cliffs and trees, smaller. So if I can crop and zoom in, I can make that bigger. And here, yellow, orange, and blue violet. Yellow, orange in the cliffs, and a variety of yellow oranges, and blue violet with a little yellow orange to make the green, or just make your green with blue and yellow, or viridian yellow. If I can use the blue violet and the yellow orange, it does make it a green and a yellow green. And within the picture frame, if you use that for your green, it'll work really well. If I use a lot of viridian and yellow in the green, and then mix a green with the blue violet and the yellow green, it doesn't look as green because you're putting it next to a real strong green. But if all my greens are the blue violet and yellow orange, it gives a nice green. It's just a bit more muted and has a different look to it. So I would want a lot of blue violet in the sky, blue violet in the shadows, and blue violet in the shadows on the ground. And that way you get that strong contrast, especially between the sky and the cliffs, yellow, orange, and blue violet.